Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back to a high-level game of StarCraft 2. Today we have a best of 3 between the bottom right, spawning as our red Zerg player playing for the Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. And in the top left here on Dragon Scales, also playing for the Shopify Rebellion, the one, the only, Byun. Opening up with a command center first here. And Lambo should be somewhat aware of this, as Byun has been playing this build an absolute crap ton. In general, Byun is a player that likes to stick to his openers, likes to stick to his guns. In TVT, that often is a one gas expand either on the high ground or the low ground. In ZVT, that is often a command center first or a no scout reaper opener. And in TVP, these days we see a lot of either 2 gas or a type of no scout opener as well coming out of him. Usually. In general, Byun a big fan of not scouting in the early game, and as a result often dying against early game rushes, but he's also has a pretty good knack for defending these early game rushes. For example, I saw him beat Hero Marine, who was playing a proxy 2-Rex Marauder, while Byun himself was going for a 1 gas barracks expand, so probably one of the greediest builds, and had a pretty, I don't want to say easy, but a very doable hold there. Practically winning the game with that. Now, follow-up here is going to be a second barracks. Second barracks is not going to be put in the wall, though. It's going to be outside of the wall. I guess that's a little bit map dependent. If you spawn on the bottom side, maybe you're forced to build a second barracks in the wall, so you can full wall it. But here, either the reactor or the tech lab, whatever it is you're building, is going to be just fine. It will be a reactor first here for Byun. As look at this gas mining, 3-1. We'll start rallying more SCVs in this, guys. I'm pretty sure of that. As Decisive finishes up, Lambo with 4 links, despite scouting that early command center, perhaps wants to actually do something with those 4 links, like go across the map. Talking about openers, we see Lambo opening up with the Clash opener, a 28 supply hatchery with a supply block. This is part of the build order. He's going to get supply blocked as well on the 44 supply. Once again, that's part of the build order and not a mistake, and create 2 overlords. And then the 3rd hatch is going to unsupply block him, and then the two overlords come out. This allows you for pretty decent creep threat, good eco as well, pretty late speed often, as the speed starts after the 34 drone. Oh, in this case the 33 drone. So after the overlord and the 2nd queen. It's a very interesting Zerg build order that's been around for a couple of years. It falls in and out of fashion, but I think it is a very, very strong one. I know that some Zergs have said that it is difficult to hold things like 3-Rex Reaper with, because you have such a fast 3rd base. Your speed is a little bit slow and all of that jazz, but yeah, we see Lambo here just heading for it anyway. Not afraid of the Byun triple Rex Reaper, apparently. And he's right not to be afraid, as Byun is opening up with a 2-1-1 opener. A pretty standard follow-up from the command center first, and one of his favorite follow-ups. Loving this link patrol on the far left side. This is never going to get spotted, and this might spot something like a Banshee or a Medevac or anything just moving out. It's not going to happen this game, but it could have happened, and that's the type of safety play that I really like. Lambo with the triple queens right now coming out. Ooh, actually going for another round of queens here in the main as well. Probably means he's going to build a lair on one of the other bases then, because it is going to be time for a lair pretty soon. If you build another round of queens in the main, this is very uncommon, actually. Usually you only see 2 queens being produced from the main base, so it's definitely some type of optimization or a bit of a mistake, one of the two. Knowing Lambo, though, most likely a little bit of an optimization. So we have this queen popping out as well. Pure drone production for now. We're on 4 links, 47 drones, and gonna go up to 8 queens as well. 2 more being produced, make that 9 queens. The queen in the main has finished up. We see a 2nd gas. Baneling nest before the lair. Okay. Wanting to play it safe here. Getting those 2 extra queens out as well. Total of 9, like I mentioned before. And a bunch of links now in production. 49 drone worker cut. As Tim has finished up, and there's about 17 marines on the map. All of those are in the push as well. And the follow-up is going to be a 3-Rex, not a triple CC, instead just a 3-Rex with +1, perhaps going into a 5-Rex as well. Byun moving forward with the first scan right now. Will be capable of picking up every single marine here, except for 1. Not a single baneling in this army, though. Makes the defense a little bit hard, a little bit difficult. Couple of transfuses does mean that Byun needs to be careful in his trades. As these queens, they pack quite a punch. First queen in trouble. No, survives. And this is a queen that still has a transfuse available, so does not want to be in the front. 2 creep tumors get sniped, as well as the queen here. Layer close to finishing up, and we have a third gas coming down right now. 6 more banelings being morphed in as well. And now we'll see what direction Byun wants to take this. Is this going to be, like I mentioned, a 5 Rex, or will a third CC be plopped down? There's 2 options, and so far Byun, just with the pure 3 Rex production, just with the 3 Rex production, almost like a Terran versus Protoss build order, starts marching across the map here. And it's gonna hit, I think, before centrifugal hooks with this push. And that is scary. That is very scary. This is a big run by coming in. Lambo on 61 workers, no Evo chambers. This is actually a massive run by. It's gonna turn that run by into a flank. That's the beauty of kind of these flanking moves, is that it's difficult for the Terran to reinforce, as well as at the same time making it easy to flank the Terran army here. Tanks under a lot of fire. Target fire though is good, as a bunch of Banes get taken out. Stim Marines off creep, just a little bit too strong. Combat shield about to finish up, +1 about to finish up. Centrifugal hook still about 22 seconds away from finishing. Forces to pick up into those medevacs though, and Byun pushed back just before he hits his peak strength here with infantry weapons level 1, with that combat shield and a bunch of full health Marines. The next push that's going to hit is going to have less creep, but will have the centrifugal hooks. We have double Evo chambers coming in, and now a third CC finally being thrown down. Byun completely focused here on pure Marine production. As another Overlord gets taken out. Ooh, Lynx come in for the flank, but don't quite get what they want. 1 Marine gets sent forward, sees Banelings morphing. And this might trigger Byun to actually move in here pretty aggressively. Tank behind the rocks, tanks in his little nuke here. Properly defended. Tumors under a little bit of stress, a little bit of pressure, a little bit of fire here. And here comes the flank indeed. Good target fire on the backside, Banelings. 1 more Baneling gets popped there, but that one gets popped a little bit too close, as these Marines flew way too close to the Baneling there and exploded upon. All tanks go down as well. 4 tanks have gone down so far in this game. And that is pretty bad, as building up a tank count is one of the most important things that a Terran player can do. And Byun is definitely struggling with that. 1-1 is on the way and is going to finish a little bit after his opponent's 1-1. Lambo's 1-1, that is. The question that I have at this moment is this third base still in time to make it a proper macro game? I mean, Lambo getting a 5th base already, gonna have loads of larva, has a bunch of queens still available. Here comes another flank. Banelings get morphed. Are there any Banes defensively? There are actually a lot of Banelings here defensively. Queens need to be careful. With only a single tank, this slow push forward is not quite as scary. This is going to be an attack coming from 3 sides. Lambo with the perfect engagement here. If he can clean this up, the game might just end right here, right now. Queens have died, and here we go. Target fire needs to be good, but is not good enough, as the Banelings get some massive connections. Another tank goes down. And the only thing that Byun achieved there is killing a bunch of queens. But there's still 10 queens alive. There's still 58 workers with 5 more in production right now. And I think 2-2 is going to start at a similar time for both players here, as this fight is not doable for Byun. Byun down 30 supply. Lambo is aware of the fact that there is no third base yet, while Lambo himself is on 5 already. Throws down an infestation pit, which is an interesting call and perhaps a wrong call in some way, in some world. I feel like a heavier focus here on Banelings might be correct. You know your opponent has very little tanks, and thus is going to rely on pure Marines almost. Okay, here comes the flank. 1 Baneling. 2 more Banelings being morphed. Yeah, gonna get taken out here by the tanks. Do we have any Banelings defensively? At the same time, a drop heading towards the left. I think this is way too large of an army to defend this double drop. I mean, it's gonna do the job, but I think half of this would also do the job. So definitely too big of an army over there. Queens will hold the line over here. Make sure to not die on the right side. There's not that many Banes though. So we have more Banes being morphed in. And that's why I said I think the infestation pit is a mistake. Because it does cost a little bit of gas. And gas is one of the lacking resources right now for Lambo. It was only on 67 workers. It's not the 85 that we're used to from Zerg players. Double drop coming forward. Oh, here comes the flank. Both of these tanks are going to get taken out. Baneling's just rolling into them, though. That is usually not what you want. But tanks getting cleaned up once more. That brings the total tank lost count at 7. 50 Marines have gone down as well. And what else do we have here? 93 links, 13 Banes against 55 Marines and 2 tanks. Tanks not quite in position either, as a bunch of SCVs most likely are gonna go down. Lambo just completely walking over his opponent here. Byun struggling so hard in this game. Really felt like there were some tight timings on Lambo's side. Oh, hold that thought actually, as Byun with the counter attack coming in, and there's no banelings here defensively. Lambo needs to return with absolutely every single unit. 6 drones have gone down as well. And this army is going to get pushed back here. 2-2 finishing up soon for Byun. Lambo with a hive before the +2 melee. Probably actually a good call. I bet it's better to get adrenal glands than to get +2 melee. So if you have the time and you want to, you got to make a decision, adrenal's probably always better to get. Ooh. Is this barracks 6, 7, and 8? No, this is just still from the initial 5 barracks. There's all marauders in production, but that means right now we have 2 tech labs, the factory and a barracks swapped over. Multiple marauders in production. Mines being added into the composition as well. Lambo, even in army supply, down 2 upgrades. But up massively in eco. 81 workers against 50. The only thing keeping Byun ahead right now is his mule count. Here comes the 2-2 push. Not that many banelings in this army. Mine shots not going to get the connections though. 184 to 130. And Lambo once again stops this push from dealing any damage. Byun trying to go for a drop into the main base, but Vipers already coming out. Vipers are going to absolutely destroy this type of play. Because you can just parasitic bomb these medevacs. Is there any Banes in the main base yet? No, there are none. Actually, is this scary? I don't think it is. I don't actually think this is scary. I mean, it's 6 base versus 3 right now. Yes, the army supplies are even, and yes, maybe Byun can kill a couple of drones here, but he needs to kill 25 to 30 drones and then win a fight, and even then, I'm not sure if he's ahead. With Vipers out, with Adrenal on the way, with the ability to start +3 carapace for Lambo as well. 13 drones do go down. This base is gonna get blasted as well. This is a bad run by. Straight up walking into a meat grinder here. Oh, right side base also being taken out. Byun actually making some plays here. 19 drones going down. This is kind of what I was talking about. This is the start of something like that. These links not quite in the position to fight either. Larva count is at 9. Ultra Cavern being thrown down here. Army supplies getting close as more Marines dealing a lot of damage. Byun's just literally all over the place. Absolute multitasking monster here. Takes out 3 bases at the same time. Takes out 25 drones as well. Will lose a couple of these medevacs to parasitic bombs, but Lambo right now in absolute shambles. What's the Baneling count? 7. What is the worker count? 56. Still have these Marines active in the main base as well. Here come the Banes. There's another drop here in the natural. That medevac gets taken out. Lambo still... I want to say... Is he actually still ahead? Attack-wise, he's ahead. He has more bases than his opponent. Can rebuild drones, of course, as well. Has superior tech. Carapace level 3 on the way. Lots of links with Adrenal. I mean... It's not the end of the world, it's just... We're lacking Banes right now. I think that's the real banger here. If Banes were out, I wouldn't actually mind this position still. Oh, I actually still don't mind it. Here we go. A couple of these mines gonna get taken out. Or at least try to get them activated with links. That goes well. Parasitic Bomb 1. Parasitic Bomb 2. No, not here. Banelings trying to get connections. Every single mine gets cleaned up. As these Marauders over here in this base continue getting damage done. Banelings move into them. Take him out, and the Spore will help as well. Lambo needs to rebuild a couple of drones. Starts with that. 1 drone at a time. That's the best way to go about it. So we have a 4th on the way. 15 minutes into the game. This is a really sick game. Holy crap. 44 workers have been killed in this game as Byun makes another push. Kite and a plating coming out, as well as 16 drones. That's a little bit scary here for Lambo, who doesn't really have the Baneling count to easily stop everything. Does have the link count though, look at that. 101 link. That is a crazy number, no? 1 parasitic bomb. Did he just use parasitic bomb on the same medevac? I think he did. Parasitic bomb twice on the same bad boy. If the Ultra Cavern gets taken out before Ultras get made, that would be a pretty big deal actually. 62 workers against 50 still, but... Yeah, Ultra Cavern gonna get blasted here. No parasitic bomb energy available right now. Here comes the burrow on the mine. Gets taken out though. Marauders tank a couple of these baneling hits. Still, Lambo's aware that there's no forward base. He's like, man, this is ridiculous. This is of 3 bases. How are you doing it? It's Byun's resources lost. Yeah, 14k to 23k. Queen's in trouble. Not getting transfused right now. Can definitely still do that. Yeah, there we go. One queen went down for no reason, but the other ones stay alive. Good micro here out of Byun. Parasitic bomb comes in, and this one is going to die. But Byun, for the first time in a while now, actually up in supply. 153 to 144. More mines coming in from the back. Baneling count still extremely low. Ultra Cavern gets rebuilt, but are Ultras even the units you want at this moment? I'm not so sure. 8 barracks are out, so the infrastructure for Byun is here as well to help out. There comes a mine shot. Going to connect in an okay way. 4 kills, not huge. As Byun takes a very winning fight there. 150 against 113 right now. Another medevac is gonna get taken out. Ling Run By gets sent out. Is there anything at home to defend except for this tank? The answer is no. Not so sure if one tank is going to be good enough against pure Ling with Adrenal Glands, with +3 in the carapace as well. But what does Lambo have at home? I think the answer is absolutely nothing. He needs the fantastic Baneling connections. There are Ultras on the way, and the Marauder count isn't so high, only at 9. Perhaps if you can pick off a couple more Marauders. No, Lambo taps out 35 workers to 56, 131 supply against 98 as Byun takes game number 1. Game number 2 will be here on Gresvan. There we go. I was wondering where my music was. Bet it wasn't there all last game either. Oh well. That's life of a content creator. The only thing that matters here is that we're on Gresvan, and I'm curious what's going to happen in this second game. Because really, if you think about it, Byun's opener didn't work out at all. So you probably reconsider. You probably think like, hey, is this what I want to play again? Or do I want to go for something completely different here? And I think the answer is completely different. But then at the same time, there were opportunities for him to deal damage. It's always hard. And factor in the fact that this is a different map with a very, very, what would you call it? Unique type of layout. And also very, yeah, a bit different to Dragon Skills, I would say. Dragon Skills, of course, has that ramp where you can take the high ground in towards the third phase. That's not going to be the case here. It will be a CC first, so at least that remains unchanged. The question is, though, will the follow-up be the same? I'm fully expecting a second barracks here for Byun. If I know Byun, and I do know him a little bit, I am expecting that second barracks. What I'm not expecting, however, is for it to go into another 3 racks, into a very late third CC, and then a never-ending 3-base push out of Byun. That would surprise me, because that part of the plan I don't think actually did that much. I think the initial pressure was okay, there were some opportunities there, but the rest, not a huge fan of it. Yeah, here we have the double barracks in the wall, as Lambo once again most likely going to be opening with the same thing. We see the 21st drone being produced. This indeed indicates that we will be going into a very fast third base here at 28 supply. So once again, the Clash opener. So usually this drone would be an Overlord in the more standard opener, where you get a hatchery at 30 supply. But that's not the case here. Ooh, what? Excuse me? Oh, he's hiding from the Reaper maybe, or what? Okay, what? What was that? I have no clue what that was. Where did he go? It's like maybe some ritual that all Zerg players in the Zerg Cabal need to do. In front of this structure, you patrol a drone back and forth. Say some Latin words. I shared this story before, but I'll share it again because I think it's one of the funniest things. When I was a Warcraft 3 player, I used to play quite a bit of Clan Wars. And for the people that are not aware of how Warcraft 3 works at all, it's there are heroes there that can level up, which are the most important thing, basically, in the game. And if you have a level 1 hero against a level 4 hero, no matter how good the rest of the army is, most of the time you're just gonna lose if you have the level 1 hero. So it's a huge deal. Now, on top of that, there's an item called the Tome of Power. And the Tome of Power levels your hero up 1 level every single time you pick up a Tome of Power. So this is just some background information. Then once in a clan war I was playing and I got completely destroyed by this guy. Like, He was playing better. His hero was continuously a higher level than mine. And I wasn't so good that, you know, I understood everything that was going on. I was like, man, this guy's like 10 times better than I am. And then I remember watching the replay, and he hosted a map which wasn't one of the real maps. It wasn't a Blizzard map. It was a map that this guy probably made himself, and in the corner of the map hidden were tomes of power. He just had like 8 tomes of power, and throughout the game he would walk there. It was like in a weird area that you usually never would go to. He would walk there and grab a tome of power to level up. That's how he completely destroyed me. Maybe that is what Lambo did here as well, you know? Patrolled the drone in front of this statue, got like 400 extra minerals in his bank. If his early game looks very good, then, you know, send this replay to ESL and maybe run it through the anti-cheating detection. Is a possibility. I know that there was a player in Brood War, I can't remember who it was, that also did it. It was like a pretty well-known player as well. And this player would make maps in which his units will build faster. So you'd be playing a Terran versus Terran. This guy's Marines just come out within like 12 seconds. It's unbeatable. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a very good time. God, I can't recall who it was. I remember the guy was pretty well known as well. I was very young when he did it. I'll figure it out another time. Oh, that's hilarious. It's like such a silly way to cheat as well, because it's so easy to spot, right? Anyone with access to the replay is gonna figure it out, or any player that is somewhat good. So it really makes no sense. So there's gonna be 8 queens here. As this indeed is a similar... Oh, actually, it's the exact same follow-up as well. I kind of disagree with this. I'm not a fan of this at all. I think Byun should not have done this. First of all, Lambo is going to be somewhat primed for this. Oh, and as I say, that loses 3 queens, so it's not great. But also a couple of Marines go down. So it's going to be very careful with his droning. And this is a really good fight here for Lambo as well. Despite losing those queens, I think he is in a fine position. Because with this type of all-in, you just need to deal a lot of damage very fast. If Lambo doesn't mess it up right now, I think he's going to be just fine. Evo Chamber on the way as well. Wants to probably start his Carapace upgrade first. We have Baneling Speed on the way. I really think Byun is making an error here. This map is a lot harder to attack on, in my opinion, than Dragon Skills is. Because you're attacking up a ramp rather than attacking, you know, down a ramp, like was the case on Dragon Skills. And Lambo's just going to be more ready for it. He's not going to make the same mistakes that he did last time in the mid game. Here comes the combat shield, though. Is there enough Banes at home? I don't think there are, actually. Still no centrifugal hooks. Lambo makes sure that nothing can come here as reinforcements. That's so important. Byun is seeing this potential flank coming in, though. Lambo solid with the injects, despite all of this aggression here. Is not missing a beat. Look at that macro here. Oh, so good. Oh, so good. And here comes the attack. Centrifugal hooks in 10 seconds. No, Lambo wants to send it first. No, he won't. Ooh. Now we're gonna go. Now we're gonna send it. Surely. There we go. Queens moving in for tanking. Banelings rolling in from multiple directions. 21 Banelings. Every single Marine is gonna get cancelled or picked up as these tanks get blasted here. Byun picks up, starts dropping towards the main base. I don't think Lambo is going to let the same thing happen that happened last time around. 1-1 starting faster this time around as well for Lambo. Going into 11 drones, moving up to 70 drones on 4 bases already. He won't need to build another drone for at least a minute or 2, I would say. I don't think it's necessary here. He probably can get away with it, but he is completely fine with this. I would like to see a macro hatch and a 5th base, both at the same time, just to make sure that spending money is never going to be an issue here. A couple of queens are being targeted down as a medevac falls low, but will not quite die. That was a bad trade for Lambo, but it won't matter because his income is legitimately 12, 13, 1400 minerals higher per minute. That is an insane amount of money that you're getting extra. That's the equivalent of what, like 8, 9, 10 queens? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Just gets 10 free queens every single minute. And Byun needs to kill that type of units as well. You know, he needs to kill units valued as much as that. And that's going to be very difficult to do minute after minute. And as a result, we see Lambo just increasing his supply count. And this is what I was worried about. The minerals and the gas for Lambo here. I kind of like the Hydra then. Because Hydras are way more larva efficient than Lings are, right? Lings are very cheap. Sure, you can morph them into banelings, but that also costs a lot of gas. Of course, hydras also cost a lot of gas, so that's not really an argument. But if you have like 10 larvae and you build 10 hydras, all of a sudden that money is pretty much gone, and definitely contributes into your army by quite a bit as well. So let's just keep that in mind. 2-2 should start very rapidly as well here for Lambo. +2 carapace already on the way. Is there even an armory for Byun right now? No, there definitely isn't. That means this is even more all-in than I thought. This is completely all-in. Now, this position actually does look quite powerful. 2 Liberators are out already. 3rd Liberator on the way. 4th Liberator also being sent out soon. Here comes a flank once again from 3 angles. Lambo's so consistent in setting these up properly, making sure that it is all synced as well. Here they come. Banelings from the back trying to be targeted down, but the Marines are falling. The Liberators are going down, and every single tank is going to get blasted here as well. Yes, a couple of Queens went down again. Yes, a lot of Banes, a lot of Lings got lost, but resources lost is extremely close here. And because Lambo has been outmining his opponent for so long, I don't think it actually is going to matter. Infestation Pit on the way already. It's Hydra Ling Bane with 2-2 upgrades coming in against Byun that is still all-inning out of 49 SCVs. I'm surprised, I'm confused, and a little bit disappointed that he went for the exact same build again on such a different map, which seems a little bit inferior for this style. Lambo is going to pick up these reinforcements here. Byun not careful enough with them, needed to lift them into medevacs. It's turning this command center into an orbital, but that's never going to actually finish up either. As once more, 2 Liberators will most likely go down. Hydras, no, will not be capable of clearing that. Queens maybe also not capable of clearing that. So 3 Hydras and a Queen will go down. This little island of Marines and Lips will stay alive for now, but good luck getting anything useful here because the reinforcement lines are compromised. Lambo waiting for the SCVs to show up. It's like, alright, I want to kill those. Is this a Liberator flank? It's gonna siege them up until this ramp here, and then when the Lings walk through it, you kill 4 to 6 Lings. It's a possibility, of course. Not a brilliant play, but would have been possible. I think Lambo's setting up for a major attack here. Getting 5 more drones. Hive, though. Maybe he's not setting up for a major attack. I wouldn't mind if Lambo here decides to go into that Hive, pushes when he's maxed, and then his next push with Vipers most likely wins the game. I think that is a very good call. Although I don't think Byun is actually going to wait for that. Byun is moving out. There's a massive run by waiting for that moment. The moment this hits the creep, we'll see this Ling run by arrive here in 4 seconds from now. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Lambo never disappoints. Yeah, the moment you see this on the edge of creep, you know it's time to send it. And that's exactly what Lambo did here. I don't even think he needs to go in. He can send this back to use it as a flank, but instead Lambo is going to commit to the cause. I think that was a mistake here. Liberator slowly but surely sieging for it. This is a single tank. This is so pathetic. This is a sad little push. This is a sad little push. It has 4 Liberators, 1 tank. The position is okay. We're going to go up to 6 Liberators, which is going to make this even better. But army supplies 112. Upgrades are 2-2. So literally everything that matters here is in favor of Lambo. The only thing that Lambo might struggle with is getting enough anti-air in position to actually deal with these Lips. Here we go. Queens are going to try to confuse each other a couple of times. Here comes a flank. This is a massive flank. Look how many Banes are in there. Once you clear the Marines, I think life is going to be okay. Hydra count is 7. Queen count is 11. Will that be enough to deal with all these Liberators? 1 Lip goes down. 2nd Lip will fall. And a Hydra in the back will take care of everything else. I think this was okay for Lambo. I think this was fine. 2 more tanks come in. 2 more Liberators do remain. Once again, anti-air. Not here in big numbers. Tanks getting big shots off as well. Byun somehow making it work once again. Turning water into wine. Actually, I don't think that's even good enough here. This is not just regular water. This is like bad water, you know? Water that people peed in before. He's turning like pea water into wine here. And the wine is very healthy. And delicious as well. He's really playing a fantastic game, but the odds are stacked against him at this point. I mean, 2-2 upgrades plus 1 range already done as well. Vipers on the way. Like, you're gonna need to... You don't need just good moves and solid play. Like, you're gonna need a freaking miracle at this point. I'm not saying that my Zerg would be capable of winning from here on out, but I think it would be a close game, and that should say enough, because my Zerg isn't so powerful. 21 Banes are still out. Here comes Lambo with the run by. Going to take out this 3rd base. And now we'll have Uh-oh. This hatchery falling as well. No, it won't. Stayed alive. Oh, well. That's life. Wait, orbital command didn't get lifted? No, it didn't. Actually went down here. 21 SCVs going down. Byun feels the pressure. Is going to be forced to attack into this. Will tap out before it even happens. Lambo ties up the series and will be heading into the final game of this best of 3. And on royal blood, this series will be decided here. What a best of 3 it has been. If Byun plays the same build again for the 3rd time in a row, I'm going to be just a tiny bit disappointed here. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Just, you know, enough that I'll make a sigh. I'll sigh. A serious sigh. Ooh, it's not going to be the case. Barracks first, out of position. Is he faking a proxy Rex here? I think he might be. Because Lambo's gonna scout this. See the lack of a CC. See no barracks in the wall. Lambo's brain will start spinning. Ping. Proxy Rex detected. But I'm not even sure if this Overlord is gonna scout in time for that. I think the CC will be going down on the low ground already at that point. I was thinking about something the other day. What if Zerg player... So imagine you're playing against a Terran that scouts, right? Obviously that would not be Byun, but imagine you have a Terran player that scouts. What if Zerg builds their first hatchery on their 3rd base? You know, that would be pretty sick. Terran would think that something's going on here. Build a bunker on the high ground. Keeps their Reaper at home. And I just think that would be a cool move. In general, I think it is underrated for Zerg to proxy their first hatch. Just somewhere on the map and then play macro with it. Like, that would be such a huge surprise now. Imagine you just build your first hatch here. No one's gonna scout in that location. Like, legitimately no one. So every Terran's gonna be building, like, bunkers and a tank. And you have the freest early game ever. 3rd base on the way. I said 3rd base on the way. I said 3rd base. 3rd base. There we go. 3rd base on the way. Overlord moves towards the high ground. That's a lot of links here in production. Oh, did I just... 6? 4 more? Is that 10? That is indeed 10 links. And this is going to be a 2-on-1 once more. Just a different type of variation. This is a really quick speed as well. I hadn't paid attention to this. My apologies. Wait, what did Lambo play? Was this like a pool first or something? I was so focused on Byun's build order. Oh no, Byun! You're in trouble. When I say you're in trouble, I really do mean you're in trouble. It's going to be 10 links here. 8 links fighting against 4 Marines. Speed on the links has finished up, and that means that 4 Marines will die. Yikers. 4 links versus 4 Marines. That's a trade Lambo is going to be very, very okay with. At the same time, we see no more SCVs mining from the low ground. Oh, 2 more links will go down. That is a good scout. Fruitful scout. Did he get the info of the 2-on-1? No, did see something glowing here. Probably knows what it is. I bet he knows. Lambo's a smart feller. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out for sure. Back into gas he goes, and I think this was pretty much the best case scenario. I wouldn't surprise me if this was a prepared build. He knew that Byun was going to play this build here, and he rushed out at speed just to do that. Get a little bit of a lead. Not bad. Starport here, moving into position. To get the 2-on-1 to kick off. Ooh. Factory with a tech lab. We're actually gonna see the same build again, aren't we? And I said I'm gonna... Ooh, what? Hello? What? What was that, Byun? Started a tech lab, cancelled a tech lab, started a mine, started a second mine, cancelled 1 mine, cancelled the second mine, started a tech lab. That cost him some time and a little bit of money. And no one knows why. Layer here going down in the main base for Lambo. Those creep tumors ready to spread. Pick me. Pew. Pew. This one's going. What's the queen count here, buddy? 8 queens, 47 workers. Is this the number we're looking for? How many marines do we have? Good lord, 22. That's a lot of marines, isn't it? Rocks here being taken out. Is Lambo ready? Here comes one scan, no stim yet. Here comes a stim. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and 3. Unit loss count. 6 marines have gone down. 4 of those were in the early game. So 2 marines died here. Follow-up indeed is going to be 3 wrecks once again. 3 tumors get taken out. Is there... Yeah, there was a transfuse. Didn't get used though. Don't want to move off creep. Don't want to move off creep. No matter what you do, don't move off creep. No matter what you do, start your centrifugal hooks immediately. Lambo up. 11 supply already. It's gonna finish his centrifugal at about the same time as Byun's +1 is going to finish. That can only mean one thing. It means that Byun's timing is either going to be too late or just in time. But I'm afraid it will be just too late. I think Byun will need to fight. Oh my god, it's gonna go 5 racks here. This is the first time he plays 5 racks rather than a 3rd CC behind it. What I was gonna say is this is the first time that Byun plays a combat shield that far before the +1. And I think he'll need to fight before +1 as well. This is a key moment here. This is absolutely a key moment. Here comes the flank. Here comes the run by. Tries to pick off 1 unit here. Good splits on those Banes. 1 tank goes down. 3 Banes stay alive. 1 queen falls as well. 4 more Banes here are about to finish up. This combat shield marine force is dealing a lot of damage though. And we see our Zerg player not quite ready for it. Tank in the back. Dishing out as well. Ooh, here comes the double drop. That's a move and a half. How ready is Lambo for that? Absolutely none. 0 ready. A couple of drones are going to fall. A couple of lings will die as well. This is +1. These were +1 marines, I should say. My apologies. They got completely blasted there in that fight. These queens will push this back at the same time. The tank died. 2 new tanks are on the way though. Lambo, not super buff when it comes to the income. 57 workers to 47. Gonna add a second Evo. Lacking creep here as well. Woo! Lost a couple of links for free. That's bad. Byun pushes out once more. 3 medevacs, 2 liberators, and a dream. That's what we're looking at here. And for Lambo, we're looking at a massive Ling Bane flank. Could take out 3 marines for free. We'll get that indeed. At the same time, could lose a couple of queens for free as well. No. Good transfuses coming in. Here come the Banes, but the tank in the back is dealing its damage. Triple flank. No. No. Yes. Maybe. I don't know. No. No, 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 no. All Banelings from the back have gone down. Lambo needs to set that up once more and go, but I'm not so sure if Byun is going to give him the time here. Liberator set up. Tank fire needs to be good. Was okay. Was good enough, I think. Tanks on the left side now in a little bit of trouble as Marines once again re-drop and Lambo losing every single Ling, every single Baneling. Down 50 army supply, up 10 workers. But this is not quite what you want. 1 Baneling hit could change the outcome of this game. But I don't think it's gonna get the connection. Look how many Marines that is. Triple drop heading towards the main again. The Banes are falling. The double lips are attacking Overlords. That is an interesting call and most likely the incorrect call as well. As the Lings and Banes get the connections. Wait, no, gets targeted down. Oh my god. Perfect target fire here. Out of Byun. That could have completely changed the outcome of the game. If one of these Banes hit, that's minus 16 supply. That means that Lambo gets to survive. That means we'll be going into a longer game where Byun is already... He's flying towards the 3rd base right now. His main has mined out so much. But Lambo doesn't have the units anymore. GG gets called. Byun wins the game, wins the series. But doesn't win my heart as he played a similar all-in 3 times in a row. I'm not a huge fan of that. That micro in here though, that was beautiful. That was actually cool. That is confidence as well. You know, that's That's the difference between a confident player and a non-confident player. A confident player targets down those Banes, and a player that isn't confident in his own micro is not going to do that. Look at this. Just want to pay attention to it. So here goes one. Then there's 3 more coming in from this side. This is all 1 hit away. This is on creep centrifugal hooks. Pop, pop, pop. If you don't snipe all, then this army all stays alive. You kill everything, and you can send all of your forces straight towards the 3rd base. So that would be what? How many Marines are in here? That's 3, that's 7, that's 10 supply. I mean, army supply would be 42 to 57 then. Upgrades aren't brilliant for the Zerg, but you have maybe like 4 or 5 Banelings alive. You have a bunch of Queens, and you can morph more Banelings because you have some time. But right now, because all of that is not the case, you're still chasing these medevacts. But if they're empty, they're not a threat anymore. That's another like 6 supplies, all these 3 medevacts that won't be in the next fight. So really all you need to deal with is this army. Just interesting to think about what could have happened had he not hit every single snipe. It's pretty crazy. Like, small things can make such a large difference in StarCraft 2, especially in this matchup, especially with this type of build order. But yeah, that's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this. If you did, don't forget to like button and subscribe to the channel. Hopefully I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Thanks so much for watching, and bye-bye.